Good morning, everybody, and welcome out to Board Game Breakfast here on the Dice Tower. I'm Chris Yi.
I'm Wendy Yi.
And I'm Camilla.
Joining us today, Camilla, thank you so
That's
much
true.
for coming by.
Thank you.
Wendy, thank you for being here. Chris, you're okay.
We are okay that you're here. Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, we've got a couple of cool things going on this week, but first off, we want to start with a few shout-outs to some of our backers on the Kickstarter.
That we do. We want to say thank you to T. Wes Moore, Kyle King, who is the king,
Absolutely.
Joel and Brian Fisher, who are excited for the 2025 cruise. We are also excited about
Oh,
that.
right around the corner,
Yes,
too.
that's
Yeah.
around the corner.
So soon. I'm ready for it.
I could use a couple all-you-can-eat buffets.
I don't need a couple.
I could use not doing dishes, so yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Dave Marceau, Marilyn Lonbeck from Lille, Sweden, Ruud Bierns from the Netherlands, Joshua... What?
I just said rude.
Oh, Rude. Rude. Joshua Pika, the Azul champion of North Dakota. I want to know how you got that title.
By being
I'm
the
assuming
only
winning.
person in North Dakota.
Joe Haller, and then Majestical Games from New Zealand.
Alrighty.
It's a good international
All
group
right.
right there.
New Zealand.
Thank you.
How is tomorrow? All right. Let's see. With that, I don't think there's too much else wild going on today. We'll have another live stream later today. We'll play it live.
Yep.
Details TBD still.
As soon as the boss is out of his morning meeting, then we will find out.
Okay. Tom is recording the podcast this morning, and not to spoil much, but he's pretty opinionated. Like everything I hear from the other room, I'm like, how could you like that? Oh, you like it when they stand oh.
And then I think all I heard was, not to be an extremist, but I was like, oh, it's good.
So yeah.
Qualifier.
Yeah, make sure to check out whatever the next episode of At the Table with Tom, Julie, and Eric is, because Tom will be quite on fire.
It's going to be intense.
All right. Well, we are sponsored here in Board Game Breakfast by Grip Mats. So we're going to play a little trailer here and then get moving into our eye catchers. This show is sponsored by Grip Mat. These custom play mats come in regular texture or with their custom grip surface, so cards, tiles, chits, and miniatures won't slide around during your games. Make setup a breeze, upgrade your play experience, or just beautify your table with a grip mat. Check out their Etsy store to see their huge selection of custom playmats for many of the best games on the market. All right, so eye catchers are a thing in the news or just around on the internet. I mean, I would allow newspapers, catalogs.
Just anything randomly on the internet?
Anything that catches our eye. If it's something from a Sears Roebuck catalog, that's also okay. We can digitize it, scan it, and then put it on the internet.
Do they still make those, or are they only on microfiche?
Microfiche. You and Mike are the only people I've ever heard talk about the microfiche.
I've never actually used microfiche. I've just seen
used microfiche a
TV
lot.
shows.
An unfortunate amount of times.
Oh,
yes.
wow. What
Yeah.
for?
My mom did a lot of like ancestry kind of stuff and searching like old records and death records. I've done a lot of like transcription of, again, just old birth records and death records and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to modernize some old documents. So
There's always something so like glamorous about it in a movie. And then when you're actually like...
It's pretty terrible. But I earned, 25 cents an hour.
Wow,
Ooh.
okay,
My
that's
mom.
worth it. That's worth it as a kid.
Back when that microfiche was made, you'd be like a self-made millionaire.
But, right, yeah. Unfortunately, this was like 1995, so no.
All right. So I'll start off this week with our eye catchers here. This is something that I am very much looking forward to. There's a new expansion coming or it's kickstarting actually right now for Raising Robots. Raising Robots is a game all three of us really enjoy. Engine building game.
Simultaneous, man.
A lot of simultaneous play. Some people might call it Wingspan meets... Wait, what was Riley's quote? Wingspan meets Race for the Galaxy.
Race for the Galaxy.
Wow.
Some people might say that. Not I, of course. Some people.
He beat you to it. You were going to say it. We all know you were going to say it.
No, this is really cool. So they're reprinting the deluxe edition of this, and they're putting in a new expansion. If you back this, you also get the Pets expansion just included in it.
Which is the little like micro expansion that came with the first Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have either of you played with that, with the pets cards in there?
Yeah.
I've not.
They're really fun.
They're super cute. Yeah. I mean, and it's they really I feel like bring a personality to the robots as well. You know, there are a lot of like kind of assistant personalities, and they work off the other cards in your tableau. So yeah, I like.
Do
that
they
a
just
lot.
go in your tableau, or
They do.
what are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah. They just go out in the tableau, but they'll interact
Oh, my
differently on the
goodness.
board.
Is that a penguin
so
robot
That
and a
is a
turtle?
penguin.
And that's a little turtle over there. He's got speakers for feet, just like I wish I had. Just every time I walk. Bam, bam, bam,
Oh, you're one of those people, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Blasting your music for everybody else to hear.
Not really. I hate those people. But if I had speakers for feet, I would be one of those people by default.
What if you had speakers for shoulders, and then you
No.
just stuck your hand up here like a boombox?
Not cool enough.
Okay.
No, the pet stuff is really fun. Like I think that they have extra cool interactions with other cards, like you're saying. And looking at the friendship modules in here, I think that these sound good, right? They have some endgame goals that you can work towards, more robots that'll have interesting, kookier, very much expansion feeling effects, right? I still think you should play the base game a few times,
Right.
then throw in the pets, because the pets are very fun, but they're just like a few more effects to have to keep track of.
Right. Yeah. It's just a couple more symbols that aren't in the base. The first time I played, actually, pets was in, and I didn't know that it was just in the library copy, and it was just like mixed in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't find this symbol anywhere, you know, and I got really frustrated. And so, yeah, the first time definitely play without it, because the symbols it does introduce new symbols and new ways to interact with other cards. So,
Yeah.
That's fair. So
That's good.
pets before friends is what you're saying.
Pets before friends, baby.
Okay.
well, we haven't played Friends yet,
But pets came out before friends.
but maybe Friends use that. We don't know.
I don't know. But I'm excited about it. And yeah, the campaign looks good. And yeah, so anyway.
Sweet.
That's that one. Raising
Yeah.
Robots Friendship.
Okay, my eye catcher is Azul Duel. So this is going to, there's not a ton of information, but it's going to come out, I think, February next year. So we don't have that many months before it comes out.
But the website that you told me to go to, I'm so excited to pull this. Bramo!
Why are there bats flying around this website?
Because it's Halloween.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
festive.
That's amazing.
This reminds me of just old
MySpace
angelfire.com
days? Oh my
websites. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
When I had a MySpace, I had this glitter effect that just would like sparkle all over the page, and it would
Oh,
take
that's
20
horrible.
years to load because, yeah, it was bad.
I hate that so much.
It was bad. I love anything sparkly, but oh my
I
goodness.
despise glitter. Gets everywhere.
All right, so back to the real game and the real website. You can click there we go. So Azul Duel is going to have that similar Azul effect where you're trying to draft the tiles and you want to build this nice, I guess you're building the ceiling, like you're painting the ceiling, and you're dueling artists who have both been commissioned to paint the ceiling together separately to be the best, something like that. But it also has these interesting little flower tiles, and I think those add a tactical element. So what it looks like, and there's not a lot of information, so I'm very much making up this whole game on my own. But what it looks like is you have these little flower tiles that you're placing down on your board, and you're trying to determine as the game goes where you're going to be wanting to put the tiles and what colors you're going to want to put where. And then later you get the tiles and you put them on top of them. So it looks like a little dual effect to it. There you go. That's the little flower tiles that you're going to put out.
Yeah, I think you draft those from the middle, and then they go onto your player. Like your player boards don't have color spots on them
Yeah, they're just blank.
until you put these flower tiles on there, and then that's when you
Can put stuff out.
make rows move over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's just interesting. So I'm very curious how it's going to be,
Yeah.
player to player, that two-player feel. Sometimes I really enjoy two-player specific games, and sometimes they annoy the heck out of me.
Okay,
Like they're
right.
too much tactical, too much interaction. So I'm just really
Yeah.
curious about how this one's going to turn out. But I am positively non-pessimistic.
positive,
All right.
non-pessimistic. I read somewhere that there. I think it was the designer Kiesling who said he was just trying to make another version of Azul, and he found that like some of the drafting with the extra things going on, he's like it just bogged down at higher player count. So he
Oh,
just
nice.
focused at that point. It's like 2-player and just really make it tight for that.
That makes a lot of sense because I was reading some comments online about this, and people were like, why do we need a two-player game? Azul's already great at two. And so
Yeah.
that makes more sense that if there's an element that he wanted to add, but it didn't work at a higher player count.
But also, two-player only games are like kind of hot right now. Like Duel, like just any
Right.
Duel
Yeah.
game is selling.
hot right
So
now.
yeah.
Well, Splendor Duel is fantastic. So
Right.
Coin
yeah.
that term, man.
Yeah. All right, Men Mine is another expansion like yours, Chris. This one is coming soon, I think, to Kickstarter, but it's for Flock Together. And this is something that I'm really enjoying lately, are expansions that just bring more content without bringing more complexity or rules or anything like that. And so this year is going to be, what is it, six new people that you can play as, and a couple new, actually 6 of each. So 6 of the predators and 6 of the heroes as well. So just some variety. I love the game. I love all the personality in the individual heroes as well as the predators. I feel like they are very true to their animals, I guess, you know what I mean? Like you play against the fox and it feels sly, things like that. And so I really am excited to see what comes from this and just add some more variety into it. So, yeah.
How many player options does it come with in the base game?
Oh, I want to say it's 9 heroes, something
like
that. It's quite a bit.
Yeah,
I
was like 6 more feels like a lot.
Right. It really is, yeah. And a lot of this, too, is just the reprint, similar to the Nauvoo game one, the Raising Robots.
Yeah.
Just getting it back out again, supporting a larger print run. So, yeah, I'm excited, though. So I think I was looking in some of the comments, and he's taken some suggestions from backers of the first game, on some of these, just some of the chicken puns they came up with. And I think that's a really cool shout out. And it's just a fun, you can just see his joy in this game, come forward in this. So
it's very fun talking to him because he plans all of his characters after the actual birds.
Yes.
And so, you have that Big Bertha, and he showed me a picture of what those chickens actually look like.
Yep.
And so it's fun. They own chickens. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yep. No, I'm very, very excited about this one. And the fact that it's called the Egg Expansion, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I know that
I wish not.
it fits
it does.
everything.
It does. Yeah, and if
very
any
much
of you know Matt Mundy, I mean, it's definitely, I hear him saying that. So.
Right. Mike says, Matt didn't take my idea of flock together to flock hard. Flock on, brother. All right, with that, let's get to some contributors.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
I'm Stella here from Maple University. Today we have Rebel Princess, which is a trick-taking game, not cooperative like The Crew, and this is the first edition from Zombie Paya.
Yes, it's up to a second printing and a deluxe, so they're going well on this one.
Yeah.
It's a derivative of Hearts and Black Lady, those sorts of games. Most people know it through Microsoft Hearts. So it's a game where you are playing tricks and trying to avoid taking cards from a certain suit. In this case, it's the princes, because you are rebel princesses. You do not want to marry the princes.
No, you don't. And the Frog Prince as well.
Yes, there's a frog is the equivalent of the Queen of Spades from Hearts. Sitting in there, it's the 8 of the animal suit. And it's a frog that's actually a prince that gives you 5 proposals and is worth a lot of points that you don't want.
Yeah, so you win if you have the least points. So you don't want to win those certain suits, and then most suits has got 1 points, and you don't want to win those tricks if there's those cards played. I mean, some of them are okay when you don't have those negative points. Yeah, in general, you don't want to win suits.
Yeah. What this game brings, which is different, is a number of little individual powers. So there'll be a special power or rule in effect each round, which changes round to round. And each player is a specific princess character. There's some illustrations of them here on the box, and they have their own individual once per round powers as well. So it gives you that extra bit of modern twist to the classic game.
I really enjoy this, and I found this one is really fun. The first of each round, there's this slightly rule change, and then you can give cards to your opponent. So like, give the bad ones or give the high ones. You don't want to win tricks in general. So Rebel Princess.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, so we're talking about Life in Reterra. This is from Eric Lang. This is also from Ken Gruel, and it's published by Hasbro Gaming. So Hasbro's making this, this hobby-style game. It's a tile-laying game where you're drafting new tiles, laying on a 4x4 grid. The theming is this is a post-apocalyptical world, where basically everyone that survived the apocalypse is now kind of emerging from hiding, repopulating the world, and rediscovering what civilization used to be. It's kind of a thin theme, but it's really, really kind of a fun theme, and it drives the art art as well. All right, so you're drafting these tiles, putting them out there, trying to build buildings, trying to get new inhabitants, new relics that you're finding, get cell phones, soccer balls, all that stuff. No one knows what it means anymore. So you find this, what is this cool relic? I have no idea. Let's put it on our board and score points for it. All right, so that's kind of the theme of the game and how to play.
And in this game, you're restricted to a 4x4 grid that you're eventually doing, and you want things to connect. But one of the things that I liked about this game is sometimes you're just not getting what you want, and all the players start with 3 tiles that only they can use. Once you use them, they're gone. But I like that if there's not something available to you, or when you start the game, you have these 3 tiles, so you kind of have an avenue to go in. So I like that everybody has something slightly different, and that you don't ever feel like you're completely out of luck, because you technically have 8 tiles to choose from until you start using the ones in your hand. So I just like that you had that little bit of, this is what you get, this is what you get, this is what you get.
This game is extremely replayable. There's 5 cards that you use at a time, 5 different buildings that are in play at any given time. But there's 15 cards in the game. They are double-sided. They all have different kind of themes and mechanisms that they use, so you can combine them and make your own sets. There's kind of some pre-set up ways that you can play. It reminded me of like old school Dominion, when you were, kind of exploring, you use the pre-set up ones that they recommended, then you'd make your own sets as well.
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of, and I enjoy exploring all the different sets that you can make.
Yeah, overall, we were very pleasantly surprised with this game. Like, really surprised with this game. We enjoyed it a lot. But everybody, if you want to hear more from us, you can find us on YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany, Board Game Reviews. Everybody, this is Ryan and Bethany. Hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Guys.
All right, today we're going to be discussing our top 10 reasons that we will cull games from our collection. And the way that our top 10s work is that we are going to share the top 9, and then in the chat, you all share your thoughts, and Milla's going to pick the top number 1 answer.
So top 10 reasons to cull a game. Milla, go
All
ahead
right.
and kick us off.
The first one I thought of, which is, I guess, number 10 here, is it doesn't fit my game group or just won't get to the table. So this is a game that I recently culled one that I love, but those that I typically play with, they're lukewarm on it. And so because of that, it's just not going to hit the table. This is also, I have a couple solo games that I like to play, but they're just, the setup's way too long or something like that. But for some reason, it's just sitting there and not hitting the table. And so for that, it's like, it's a game I can still love, but I don't necessarily need to own it.
Yeah. I was debating on one that was kind of similar to this. I think I didn't end up picking it, which was like player count.
Yeah, right.
Like for years and years and years, Wendy and I were just pretty much our main play group, and occasionally we'd meet up with other people. But guess what? All those people that we'd meet up with also owned a ton of games.
Right. Yeah.
And so we owned a few games. Like it was hard to own something that was like a minimum player count of 3+. And there was like one game I held on to for quite a while, and then I realized we're still not playing it. As much as I love it,
Right.
it didn't make sense to hold on to it.
Or we're like holding on to Seven Wonders and making up the 2-player versions of it before Duel came out.
Yeah, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. All right, oh no, you're up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hopping
Number
ahead.
9. That's me. Look at this. Boom. Are you really going to replay that campaign?
Oh, no, I'm not.
So we were talking about this last night. Gloomhaven. We loved Gloomhaven when we played it. And we've put over 20-something missions into those characters and stuff, kind of hit that long pause. Or if we had finished it, right?
Right.
There's that thought of like, oh, I like owning this big old box of fun memories and stuff. But is it worth taking up that shelf space if you're like, that was fun? Do you want to play it again?
Right.
Let's play something else, right? There's just so many times that when you finish a campaign, it feels great. It's amazing the whole way through. Are you going to replay it?
Right. Or those campaigns that it's playable after, right? It's like, and then you have your custom boards you can play on. I don't know anybody, and I'm sure the chat will let me know that they've all done this. But, but
Everyone does it, Milla.
Right, that goes back and plays that custom board again. You know what I mean? Because it has such a nostalgic factor for those original players, but you don't bring it out and show new people it,
So we had never owned base Pandemic until we played Pandemic Legacy. And so we did hold on to it, but we realized after we had played like 15 games of Pandemic Legacy, we were so pandemicked out. We didn't want to play it anymore. And then we did hand it off to a friend, and so they got our weird like Pandemic Legacy version.
We took off all the stickers.
yeah.
We were like,
Okay.
it's a base game now.
and it was still super confusing for
Oh,
them
I'm
because the
sure.
rule book's a mess.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was garbage.
So yeah, there you go. Number 9. Are you really going to replay that campaign?
Okay. Mine is just that sometimes you outgrow a game. It could be that your kids have outgrown it. So maybe you kept some younger kid games and you're holding on to them and being like, hey, maybe we'll just keep these. Or maybe you as a gamer have outgrown particular types of games. I think of some of the stuff that we played early on, like Firefly. I'm never going to play Firefly again. Like that's one I don't need to own. Do we still own it?
No. Oh, no.
Okay, good. I was like, that's one I don't need to own because I've outgrown it as a gamer. I've come to realize that it doesn't fit my current taste anymore, and I
It's
think
under
that's
my
okay.
pillow on the bed. No, we don't own it, Wendy.
His favorite, his precious. We started watching Lord of the Rings with our daughter last night.
God.
She was not a fan. So sad.
She liked everything until like something slightly remotely scary happened.
Oh, really?
She hates
Oh.
fighting in
Oh.
movie and TV shows. I'm
And
like,
you
that's
thought
so
this was
sad.
a good one to start with. Okay.
But she's getting older. It'll be better. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you outgrow stuff.
Yeah. All right, my next one is nope, they're not in order here. My next one is nothing like that. This is having to relearn the game every time you play. For some reason, this is just such a huge barrier. It kind of ties into the other one, but it's such a huge barrier to get it to the table. There's times that I look at the game and I'm like, I want to play that, but I don't want to relearn it. And so if I'm not playing it enough to be able to hold on to the rules, because this doesn't necessarily even mean the game is super complex. There's some that just like my mind, for whatever reason, trips up on those rules. I just don't think like that something. But if I have to relearn the rules every time I get it to the table, then it's just, well, maybe it's a hazardous job. It becomes work. You know, like there's an element of work to learning a game and something that's in my collection that I love. I don't want that. And so even if I love it, that's fine. You know what? Someone else will own it and maybe they can teach, or maybe it's just there's enough other games that I can get to the table, play quicker. And some of those are really complex, you know? So again, this doesn't have to do necessarily with weight. But if I don't play it enough to not be able to hold on to the rules, then I don't really want to keep it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean that's true because how much prep time do you want to put into game night? Like, oh yeah, we have friends. Oh, it's fantastic. All right, everyone wait like a half hour while I
Figure it
Right,
out.
Yeah.
exactly. Or like, oh man, what was that rule again? I don't know. And you're like, this is supposed to be fun. We're an hour into the game. I'm still looking in the rule book, you know, something like that. It's just a huge kill, like a hard stop in game night.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of this one. This is an interesting pick. I like it.
What is?
Number 6 over here is it actively costing you money to store that game? I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in particular, but if you feel a twinge of guilt, then maybe I am pointing fingers. Yeah.
This is an intervention.
I'm broadly indicating the direction I'm pointing at. No, I mean it's funny because you will hear people say like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm thinking about expanding the house." You're like, please tell me it's for something besides storing games.
Yeah, right.
And it's okay if you want to even like build like a custom game room. Like that's really cool. Fit a table in there, get like your lights and stuff set up, but like just to hold on to more stuff. Like it's about time to let some of those other things go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so hard for some people.
It is
so hard.
It is. That's
I
why
know, I
we
think-
have these conversations.
And it's a really good one. This isn't one I couldn't figure out how to say it, but it's like to actually put it down. You say it's actually costing you money. Sometimes there's also ones that are actively costing you like emotional energy. You know,
Yeah.
like if you walk in, you're just like, oh, there's so many games. Okay, let's go over here. You know,
like
I
our
always find
collection
myself in the kitchen. You know, like for some reason. But it's weird.
I'm avoiding the shelf.
Right, exactly. But it's like it's actually costing you money or emotions. No, so I think it's really good.
I
That's
feel
a
like
good
our
one.
collection's like slightly getting there as we just have more and more piles on the floor of games that
Yeah.
we'll get to, but are not on a shelf.
And some of it's even just like work stuff. Like, oh, we'll get to reviewing that one.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much of it is just work stuff. Yeah.
All right, number 5.
That's you.
Nope.
Oh, it's me.
That was just
That
me.
was just you.
That was him.
I am so on top of things. All right, my number 5 is if you never get around to play it, there's just been those games that have sat in shrink on our shelves for so long. It's like someone gifted us a game, and so you feel bad getting rid of it because you're like, they're gonna ask me if I played it. Well, it's been 5 years, and you know what? They never asked if I played it. I think I can let this game go now.
It's just still going to be no whether whether or not we own it or not own it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, there you go. Yep. If it's still in shrink, let it go.
Yep. That's good. All right, and the last one here for me is it has been replaced by another game or something similar. There's a lot of times where, you know, the game's
great.
Thanks.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
Where the game fits a little niche, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, it's my go-to worker placement game, or it's my big epic. If I want a big epic survival game, I always pull this one off. But sometimes that's replaced by another one, and so if it's those two games fit the same hole in my collection, you know, and I always pull one over the other, then I don't need that other one. It doesn't mean it's not a good game. It just means, like, in my collection, again, what's hitting the table, it's just time to let the other one go. You know, it's that was a very hard decision because a lot of times that one you let go has a lot of memories attached to it. But I think that's kind of the breaking point for me is when I'm keeping it solely for the memories. I have the memories without having the game.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so
that's
it's
fair.
time to just let it go. Like, my game group has moved on past it. I've moved on past it. It's served its purpose, but that niche, that itch that it scratches is filled by something else.
Not to bring up Gloomhaven again, but also Gloomhaven. Like, we own Jaws of the Lion and we own Gloomhaven. We're never going back to that big box again.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the smaller one with the nice book, and you don't have to find all the missing pieces and all the, it's just so much easier.
Yeah, it is time that we let that one go. And for some reason, we just haven't. Maybe
Right.
it's just like that little dream of like, ooh. But guess what? In 10 years, when we'll have time to, like, you know, sit down and go through it, there'll be another better campaign game out there.
Yeah.
Right,
There already
right.
have been several that I would sooner go through and play all of Oathsworn, right, than like Gloomhaven at this point. If I want that, as you say, scratch the itch. Or as my friend Greg used to always say, it rubs the same rash. That phrase never
Okay.
caught on for some
No.
reason.
I don't know why.
All right, number 3 over here, my last one, is that sometimes it's not just about like, oh, I can't hold on to these things, but sometimes it's that if you go to a swap meet or donate or give away a game or sell it for cheap online or whatever it is, you're giving new gamers opportunity to get a good deal, and then they'll love that game. A lot of the stuff we're talking about, games that we're like, oh, I really love it, but I'm not bringing it to the table, or I'm not playing. It's just kind of sitting there. It's bringing zero happiness, zero value to you, and possibly negative value, as you're
Right.
talking about, like, oh, I need to get around to playing these games I love again. If it's bringing you negative positivity, that's a dumb sentence.
Yeah.
Then
Negative emotions. Yeah.
but yeah, if you sell, and you know what I mean, like when we were new in the hobby, this was like our shelf, you know, for a long time. This was like the collection that we had, and so adding a new game to it was just like mind-blowingly amazing. So I would scour Facebook Marketplace. Ooh, someone's selling this game for like $15. How could they possibly sell this for like $15? It's like a $60 game.
Oh, yeah.
They were the people that I'm in the position of now, where I'm like, I'm going to get rid of this game. I'll give it to someone who will end up really liking it.
Right. Yeah. I just want to make someone happy with it. I want them to have those positive feelings I had.
Yeah.
Right, and I think about the games that we got Airlines Europe for super cheap, and that is still a family favorite. We got
Yeah.
Carcassonne for super
For
cheap.
like $10.
We played Carcassonne so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that person, if they had held on to it, probably wasn't going to play it. And
Right.
that's okay. So he moved it on, and I'm always grateful for that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, my last one is this game actually broken? Like, is it missing too many pieces to play? Are the cards so nasty that you're afraid to touch them? Like, there just comes a point where we love games and it's great, but if you're not going to pull it out because it's just a mess, if there are more buttons than there are pieces in there, like,
Does that happen? Like I'm genuinely confused right now. Do people keep games that they can't play or that they don't want to touch?
that are just really old? Yeah. I know people, like, especially people that have like kids and their kids have destroyed their games and they hold on to them because they want to play them.
Wow, that's mind-boggling.
I don't know.
I didn't think of
that's
this
the
because
way-
it's no offense. Like, no offense
that's
to
the
you. Like,
way-
no,
It's not
no
us.
offense to you. Offense to them. Like, that's so obvious.
That's the way all my
Gross.
games were growing up. My mom had
Oh,
thrown all
wow,
the pieces
okay.
together of every game that we owned in like plastic bags, and so if we wanted to play Monopoly or Life or whatever, like we would just pull out whatever random pieces we could find, and we're like, okay, I'm the shoe and sorry, and my 3 blue pieces. Like, yeah, it was a mess. We made it work, but Yeah, but if it's garbage, just get rid of it. But I also think about like our copy of The Crew is just gross. Like we've played it so many times, it's just gross. We should just get another copy.
Yeah.
If we're gonna keep playing
And
it.
you haven't?
Or we should just let it go. We haven't.
Oh, yeah, no, I
See?
did.
We're those
Because
people.
mine was nasty.
Okay.
So I trashed it and got another one and then sleeved it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I play this enough. So then it was one that I sleeved because,
Yeah.
Wow,
See, I'm
haven't played
talking
it
to
since
myself right here.
Oh, that's fascinating.
This part, yeah. We don't have the first thing you were talking about. That was weird.
The missing pieces. All right.
All right, and the number one pick
Number
from
one
the live
here.
chat.
I liked Cora Luz. Let's see if I can.
can we make this
Does it fit there? Someone gifted it to you, but it's not one you're interested in. It's been gathering dust for a respectable amount of time. Respectable amount of time. Like they've come over to your house once and saw it to know that you kept it, and then you're good.
Did you ever watch Gilmore Girls?
No.
Okay, so in Gilmore Girls, there's this episode where the character, her mom is like super high end, and her mom comes to visit, and so she pulls out these like giant vases and all just this crap to put in her house. Her mom doesn't get offended.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I think of immediately.
Yeah. No, I like this one because I think there is, and kind of going back to what we were saying before, kind of that negative emotion with it. You know, if you look at a game and you're keeping it because you feel guilty, let it go, because that's, again, a reason just to avoid your game room. You know, like I walk in, I see that one, I'm like, I should play that one they got me. I'll go eat Doritos instead, you know, and and I just end up playing nothing, or just kind of like feeling bad about myself. Like if you've had to keep it, or there's some like negative emotion with it, then like let it go so that you can enjoy your games. So, yeah.
All right. I feel like eating Doritos for some reason.
I do like Doritos. So yum.
It's too early for Doritos.
No, that's not true. Let's move on to some contributors, so I'm going to run to the kitchen.
Hey, I'm Jordan. Let's talk about a great weeknight game. Now, this is Spectral from Bitewing Games. This is a new deduction game. Recently, the Dice Tower did a top 10 deduction games, and I was not invited to be on that list, but if you ever want me to come down, I'm available. Spectral would definitely make my list of top 10 deduction games, even though it just came out. And this is a deduction game in which you are working through a grid of cards, trying to deduce which rooms are going to have gems that are going to give you points, and which rooms are going to be haunted, which of course don't give you points. But each room is telling you information about other rooms in that grid. They might tell you information about a card that's next to it, diagonal from it, kind of around this semicircle kind of shape. And you're going to be putting these explorers down in the hallways between the rooms, and you're ultimately playing like this area majority game around the rooms, trying to learn information about them. You got your little pad that you're keeping information on. You're learning about those rooms, trying to put your explorers down, trying to get majorities around those rooms, and you get the gems at the end of it. So it's got that deduction, but it's got that area majority, and it comes together in like a really cool looking like production as well. The artwork is cool. It's not too creepy and spooky, but it has this kind of really stylized artwork that I really love from Kwanchai Moria. So check this one out. I like it. Spectral. There you go. I'm Jordan. Thanks.
Hey, Board Gamers, PJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back on the breakfast, this time taking a look at Agueda, City of Umbrellas. I want to tell you a couple of things that I like about the game and show you some lanyap. It's called the City of Umbrellas because of the beautiful art installation where the tourists can walk down the paseo underneath all of these umbrellas that not only provide coverage, but it also allows them to take beautiful photos. And I think the designers did a good job of incorporating that setting into the mechanics of the game. If you look over here, you can see that we're going to be drafting these umbrellas and diagonal lines, and it's kind of an economic engine because some of the lines are going to give you money and some of them are going to cost you money. So managing that economic puzzle is important, but the real key is scoring the points in these three areas. You're going to take these umbrellas and you're going to place them onto the player boards, and if you can get these umbrellas to match up to the paint splotch of a particular line that you haven't uncovered yet, you can then flip that part of the mural. The more murals you flip over, the more points you score. And it also helps you unlock some of these tourists And the tourists are important. They've got these little cameras. They're looking down the street and they're looking for certain umbrellas. So if you can get those tourists placed on a row that has those colored umbrellas, you'll score even more points. And you can also score points over here in the shop because each of these 3 shops are looking for ways to score points. Maybe it's certain colors by the end of the game, or maybe it's certain colors in a certain column. Whatever it is, it's a puzzle you've got to figure out. And there's some lanyap. I told you about the 3 shops, but 2 of them are random, and the designers have given you this big old stack of cards that you can use each game. So every game's going to be a little different. All right, that's Agueda, City of Umbrellas. It's colorful, it's puzzly, and it plays really fast. Plus, I love the lanyap of those extra shop cards. Until next time, les le bon temps roulé.
What we do here is go back.
All right.
It's one of my favorite meeples right there. The big boulder coming.
Oh,
I
I know,
love
it's
that
so
one.
good.
I love it. I don't use it enough.
It's a Jason. I think his segment will be coming up.
Okay.
He's one of the contributors
Yeah.
on Breakfast.
It's very
So
thematic
great.
for our theme today, actually.
Oh,
It
it's
is.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I picked it as the old school game logo because I was like, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Like, that's old school. I'm giving off, Spider-Man energy. You ever seen this really old movie called Star Wars? Anyway, our old school game today is Incan Gold.
Incan Gold.
This is one
What
that
a great game. You only have it rated an 8? Lame.
I do only have it rated an 8. What do you have it rated as?
I have no idea. I probably haven't rated it.
It's old, right?
It's
That's
just
a
one of
good
those.
one, though.
It kind of, because it scratches so many itches and you play it. So that's my phrase of the day, I guess.
It is.
Apparently I'm really itchy today.
We're
No.
going to not pursue that too much further.
But because you can play with so many groups. I played it in my family. I played it with church groups. I played it with non-gaming friends. I played this via Zoom like a ton during lockdown, COVID
Really?
lockdown and stuff, right? Like kind of came up with a little variant to make it go well on the computer. Played well virtually, I mean. So anyway, it gets played so much that it's just a staple that you forget to rate. You know what I mean? You're like, it just gets played all the time,
So was it an 8.5? 9?
Sure, yeah, we'll say
10?
9.7. I don't have any idea.
9.7.
I just pulled that out of the air. Yeah, no, this is a great game. So
I had always wondered why sometimes it's called Diamant and sometimes it's called Incan Gold, because the version we own is Incan Gold and I can never remember the name Diamant. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm looking it up in our library here at the Dice Tower, I'm always confused as to what it is. I have trouble finding it. But I looked it up, and I guess originally in Europe it was made as Diamant. Mm-hmm. And then when it got moved over to America, they wanted to do Raiders of the Lost Temple or something like that, but then they didn't want to have copyright issues, so then they made it Incan Gold because they wanted that temple theme. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it just became Diamant again.
right.
So it's kind of been a back and forth, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I hope with the new version coming from Yellow, we were talking about this briefly. I love in the Diamant has the nice little chests that you keep your treasure in. I really like that. But I really like the cards of if you're staying in the temple or leaving, as opposed to the meeples. So I hope this new version coming out from Yellow has those things. Like, give me the cards, because it's always so confusing. Like, are you staying or are you going? Oh, I dropped my meeple. What does that mean? It means I'm leaving. No, I'm staying. Oh, I meant to do this. Oh, no, wait, it stuck to my hand. It didn't come. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I play with, like my 12-year-old and his friends, and they're all 12-year-old jerks.
Like the kids that are playing
Liars.
like rock, paper, scissors.
Snapshot
and,
that moment.
Right.
Sorry, bud.
Everything's
jerk.
play.
See,
I think the meeple dropping is fun. Like, it creates, a tactile involvement.
I
to
really
it.
think it's fun, but I just feel like it causes more arguments than it's ever worth, and then something like, for some reason, everyone just has a hard time holding on to what means what, when do you leave, when do you stay, if I dropped it or if I went, so we end up making this one variant where you end up holding the meeple and you just reveal it. And so there's no drop, but if the meeple is in your hand, that means you are leaving. But if it's empty,
Okay.
that means you're staying. You're still out of sight. You're still in the cave or in the temple. But anyway, whatever. I really like this game a lot. I just hope the new one brings exactly what I want to stop these petty little fights.
It's a classic push your luck game for me.
Oh, yeah.
Just like seeing the little threats pop up, and you're like, I'm still going. because I'm going to get more treasure. And when there's like one person left in the round, and you reveal like a 15-point treasure card,
So
you're like,
good.
Oh, so you know how you get rid of one of the like little fire things, like one of the traps? You get rid of one trap when you reshuffle for the next round.
yeah, if you
Like
hit
whatever
2
trigger.
fire,
Okay.
Oh,
one of
yeah,
them
yeah,
gets pulled
yeah.
out. Yeah.
So that was actually attributed to Freedom and Freeze, that suggestion of
Interesting.
removing it from the game instead of keeping the deck the same every round.
Oh, really?
So there you go. Random fact.
Kudos to you, Friedemann. Yeah, you don't love the little tent cards here?
I don't. No, I just find them a little fiddly. You know, you can't open it up and see. And I also love that Coralie is pointing out here they didn't set up the temple cards. That is driving me nuts in this picture.
The stairs go nowhere.
It makes a picture. Make the picture. Oh my gosh.
And it's not even.
irking me so bad right now.
It's not like a hidden, like, did you know? Like,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Look at
They're
them.
numbered.
No, this isn't a Jamaica situation where the cards make up a panorama. You know, it's not. No, this
Isn't it the front of the box?
Yes, it also is the image on the front.
And
of
when
the
you
box,
turn
yeah.
it over, because then it like actually becomes color. No, why? Can we just move on? Choose a different picture, Chris. We're done. Thank. Oh!
So much better.
No, I was surprised how many pictures there are of the new version, actually. So there's something about, like, this is that new printing.
Oh,
from
so
Yellow.
it's gonna be tiles.
I guess it's
or
tiles.
thinner cards. I guess it could be either way.
It could be
but-
square cards, yeah. I don't know. I'm curious. We haven't played the
Interesting.
new version yet, but it looks looks fun. I
That-
love.
It's got the boxes.
It's got the treasure boxes.
Yeah, that visually would make a lot more sense though as you're leaving, so you can like see the trail. You know, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what a fun
Aw.
game. This is great. We've played it a lot, and like you said, you can teach it to most people and they'll get it.
Right.
You just figure out. I personally, I've never had issue with the whole meeple drop thing. You know, if you're leaving, throw your person down, and then you have that one person that's like, ah! You know, I just love that. Like,
stressful.
yeah.
There's no going back. Like, it's that sense of like,
Yeah.
my hand is open, it dropped. Like, there's no going back.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
I
also
played the wrong
that
card. Which
person
one's
that
the
just holds it a little too long, and you're like, let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, but yeah, fantastic game. Bruno Ferduti, Alan Moon co-design, and well, apparently
Freedom and free suggestions.
Freedom Free
There we go.
Suggestions.
Who knew?
All right. Well, there you go.
Wendy knew.
The classic of Incan Gold. Let's move on to our last block of contributors.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match. Today we're looking at Walking Dead, the dice game. So the players are going to take turns until somebody gets 15 supplies. It's going to be signified by this. So some cards will have none, some will have more, etc. as you go through. Now everybody will get an equal number of turns, and then whoever has the most supplies will be the win. Each turn you're going to get 3 wound tokens that you're going to have. Now you're going to get a selection of dice here. And every turn you're going to roll the blue die. So what you're going to do is turn over the top card. It tells you how much it's worth, 1 point. You're going to have 2 successes in order to kill it. And if you don't, you get 2 wounds. And then you'll be able to choose which die you want. The black dies are the most powerful with up to 4 hits on it. Then you're going to have the reds that go up to 3. Then you have the oranges where they top out at 2, but there are some blanks. And then whites are the weakest, only have 1 hit, but also have a blank. So each round you're going to choose the blue dice, and you're going to choose a set of 3 dice. So I'm going to set these aside, and these will be what I roll for the round. And here, this right here protects you from a bite, and you're going to look for the hit. So I have 3 hits, which is enough to score this. So I will take this card and add it to my collection for right now. These dice that I use, except for the blue dice, will go to the next player, so I cannot use them again this round. Now at this point, I could keep this card and score it and be done for the round, or I could press my luck and go again. This game has been used as a system game. And what I mean by that is a lot of different IPs have been attached to the exact same game. And I think it works for that. I can't speak for the other ones. It works okay for The Walking Dead. Walking Dead was a lot more about the stories than it was like the action of shooting the walkers. In this one, you're solely kind of focused on killing the walkers. That's what you're going to be doing in this one. You're going to be rolling the dice and kind of pressing your luck. You have a pool of dice, and you want to choose the right ones. What's the weakest dice I can use to accomplish my goals? And then you'll shoot them. I'm not really sure that's The Walking Dead, but you could say like I'm conserving things, etc. I suppose it works. The theme works okay with the game. The game is all right. It's a luck mitigation, pressure luck type game. I think it works okay. This would be squarely like a 5 out of 10. This would be squarely in the middle. Does the IP and the mechanisms match? a little bit if you zero in on it. I don't think it's anything to get too excited about, so I'll just say this one's mediocre at best.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott the Frozen Gamer, and here are the top 10 hottest games of the past month of September, according to Board Game Geek. So in 10th place, dropping a bit from 6th, but clinging on to the top 10 is the number 1 game on BGG, Brass Birmingham. We have a tie for 8th. So first we have Dune Imperium Uprising, which has run away as being the hottest Dune game of the year. The other 8th place game dropped 4 spots from last month, and that's the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth. It's getting stellar reviews all around. Jumping up from 25th to 7th is the newest game in the Undaunted series, and that's the one not based on a real conflict, Undaunted 2200 Callisto. A brand new game that wasn't on the list in August but jumped into 6th for September is SETI by CGE, and this was most likely the hottest game at Essen Spiel. Number 5 is Black Forest by Uwe Rosenberg, jumping high from 90th to 5th overall. This new Rosenberg game is similar to Glass Road. Number 4 has been number 1 on the BGG hotness list for the year, and that is still widely played. The still widely played Arc Nova dropping 2 spots for September. Number 3 jumped up 10 spots back into the top 10, and that's the hottest game of the year probably, and that's Harmonies. And number 2 was number 1 in August. That's Arcs, new trick-taking game by Cull and Leader Games. And the new number 1 for September is Andromeda's Edge, jumping up from 107th in August. This is the re-implementation of Dwellings of Eldervale that takes place in space, and people have rightly been going gaga over it. Our 3 biggest movers on the list from August to September. Third, we just mentioned Andromeda's Edge, jumping up 106 spots. Jumping up 113 spots is the new, quite pretty Euro, Saltfjord, by our Norwegian designers. And our top mover from August to September is Faraway, moving up 116 spots into 30th for the month. A nice little interesting card game. And so here are the top 3 movers, top 3 that are new to the list in September. In 23rd is Knizia's Ra, jumped back in due to its recent Kickstarter expansion. Jumping in at 20th is Dwellings of Eldervale. We mentioned that's due to Andromeda's Edge. And our top new game was already mentioned, that's SETI, jumping into 6th place for the month. It's the hottest game of Essen with the hottest designer, Thomas Holick. So that's it. Peace and stay cool.
All right, so last little thing here. We're looking at some different old videos from the channel. We had done a bunch of live streams last week, and so I thought it was fun to look at this. This is a much earlier live stream of this is Z and Sam Learn Adrenaline Live. So Tom is teaching it. I guess Tom and Derek had both played it before.
So you're saying this is the earliest live stream you could find?
No, this was just a very early live play of it.
Oh my gosh.
One camera point of the table. Z mostly covered by the comments.
Right, the whole time. Oh my gosh. I don't think
Are we
going to
see Tom's face at all?
He poked his head in.
Well,
he did this awkward, yeah.
It wasn't awkward at all, no. But yeah, this is what live streaming on the channel used to be.
Wow.
It also helps that this is Adrenaline. This is such a great game.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you needed this camera so dark, too. You also needed something as bright and poppy as Adrenaline to see.
Yeah,
that's true.
Those green
Very
rooms
dark.
look like they're glowing.
Wow.
Ah, what a great game. But yeah, so this was 7 years ago. Yeah, 7 years ago, 2017. And so just, it's fun to see kind of like where things have gone from here, just figuring out streaming so much more. We have such a system in place, and just the different camera angles and the different transitions and stuff. Like it's a different beast.
Right,
7 years is a long time.
Yeah.
But
Progress is great.
Yeah. But also helps that this is such a great game.
Do they ever? Oh, there we go. I was like, do they ever play? It's been that one picture for a while.
Tom's talking for a while now.
I love that. Welcome to the new Dice Tower emo channel. It does have kind of an emo vibe.
But this is kind of how you and I would do live streaming before our Dice Tower days.
We had at one point we had a phone just like tied up by yarn and string to our ceiling fan. Like you just kind of made do.
We just kind of made do.
Yeah, still got warm, so we'll turn the fan on.
We also had this issue with our Samsung. Did we even have Samsung back then? I don't know. It was our Android phones that they could only record for a certain amount of data before they would stop. So before we live streamed, we were just pre-recording it. And so we would have this little clicker button, and we had a timer off to the side. And every 7 minutes, we had to stop the game, pull our hands away, click the button, and like restart
Oh,
it.
wow.
started
It was so
recording.
bad.
It was so much work because we just refused to spend, like $40 on a camera.
Right.
Yeah. We're like, we're using
80
our phone.
$80 on a tripod. Like, nope, we'll just like,
We can make this work.
yep.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
Oh man.
That's cool. I didn't realize Z and Sam. I didn't realize either of them had played this. It's interesting. I wonder what they think of the game, if they remember it.
I wonder, right?
Yeah.
That's 7 years is
I feel
a long
like I
time.
played this with Sam at Dice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Dice Tower West before it was Dice Tower West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh, really?
I
That
feel
long
like
ago?
I know I played it there, and I'm trying to remember if I played it with Sam or if he just was around and was like, "Oh yeah, I like that game."
Okay,
I don't
interesting.
I haven't played this since it's been a little while. I know the retreat we played it with
Right.
a couple of people, but
I feel like I've played it once since then. I feel like we played it in studio once since then.
Okay.
But it's been a really, really long time too. Yeah, this one I'd love to get to the table again.
I don't think I've played this since moving to Florida.
oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Nope.
it's so much fun, man. Just like
Yeah.
it's funny because here at the end, the little chatter about it, they're talking about like this is kind of like an area control game. We're like, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. It's just
Right.
disguised as a shooter.
Right. And
uh,
it's one of the shooters too where dying doesn't feel bad. You know what I mean? It really is
That's
just like a
why I like
respawn
it.
video game. You're
Yeah.
like, all right, let's go again. You
And in
know?
fact, I'm less likely to be picked on once I die because I'm worthless.
right.
I'm not
Until other people-
worthless, but worthless.
Worthless. Right. Until
Yeah.
other people die as well, and then it's back and forth. Yeah. So it's a really good balance to that.
Yeah, and I enjoy the resource management of the
Yeah.
weapons and
Yeah, I know. This is a good
Yeah.
one. This is a really good one.
I feel like this is one of the first games that kind of did that, where like getting just obliterated wasn't like a huge setback. You might have
Right.
like, oh, I wanted to have been in that room.
Right.
I had to spawn over here. Okay,
All right.
yeah, I'll just shoot my railgun through the wall anyway.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right. I'll just adjust. Yeah. But you feel good you never feel bad. You feel good when you have that great turn, that big rail gun that you can do everything. And when you die, you're like, all right, well, people will pick less on me. That means I can go over here and do this and focus on my resource management or focus
Yeah.
on something else, So
Yeah.
it's very tactical like that.
It was one of the first games I think that did that really well, and the fact that when you have lots of damage building up on your person, you
you get stronger.
get stronger.
Yeah.
You have the adrenaline, running through you, and so you're like, oh, I will run like really far, pick up things more easily, shoot a bunch. Like it's just
Yeah.
so many games haven't gotten that right. Like, it makes sense in a fighting game. Haha, you took a bunch of damage. Your left arm is broken now. You're worse at fighting. You're like, oh, so I'm losing and I'm worse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Nope, this one figured that out and made it just so stinking funny too.
Yeah.
It has that CGE like humor and charm to it.
For sure.
Yeah. So anyway, just fun to see kind of where the Dice Tower has come. We just did those 3 Knizia games on Friday and like just thinking about the rig and the setup and the different angles and whatnot that we have now, as opposed to doing the
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you think of the game, guys?
Oh, hello. You're still here. Okay. All right.
All right,
well,
Tom.
There's my
All right.
Seasickness?
Yeah, say nausea for the day. That's great.
There you go.
Starting
We're going to cut
early.
away from that. We're going to call that good. All right. Well, folks,
It's been a good breakfast.
this has been Breakfast, episode 510. So,
510.
It's a very low calorie breakfast.
Time
Only
for Doritos.
510 calories.
I'm there with you. What flavor?
I really like the Cool Ranch. I think they're very mild. I like the original nacho as well, but they're just such a mess. They're not worth the mess, I don't think. That's like a guilty pleasure at home when you can lick your fingers and no one's looking kind of snack.
Okay.
But so I think the Cool Ranch is probably my go-to.
But they still have the fingers. You know what I mean? You still want to lick your fingers with the Cool Ranch. 'Cause there's
Yes.
still powder on them.
Oh, there for sure is, but it's not like big and orange
not
and
noticeable
nasty.
when I
yeah.
rub my pants as
Exactly.
much.
Yeah, you don't
Like
get
a
the finger
radioactive
marks.
hand
Yeah.
after a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Well, make sure to jump back and join us here at 1 o'clock for the We'll Play It Live. As we mentioned earlier, details to be determined.
TBA.
But yeah, we'll get that posted up here. And then, yeah, the rest of the week is going to be a normal week of live streaming and everything. So you're crowd surfing top 10 games that start with the letter D this week.
I've got to figure that out still.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's a few of them.
Is Diamant on the list?
It is now.
It is now.
Spoilers.
All right. Folks, until then, my name is Chris Yi.
I'm Wendy Yi.
I'm Camilla.
Take care. We'll see ya.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.